are back, and thank you all for hanging out with us. Go ahead and tag 10 more friends and bring them in. And make sure that if you have to leave this morning, take that iHeart app, download it to your device, and take us with you. And if you have something that you want to say, you can go to the iHeart app, hit the mic, and leave us a little message, and then we'll get it. We'll get a chance to hear what you have to say, and we'll respond. And so we thank you. I'm going to move forward just a little bit because we've been talking about representation, and representation matter. If you can't see it, then you can't be it. And that's what we believe in. This morning, we're going to just kind of twist a little bit. We have Geanovea West on the line. Geanovea West is starting an organization called Minorities in Aviation. And they have an event this morning for 18 and older that will be taking place where you can go out, get in an airplane. They're going to take you up and allow you to navigate. And guess who's going to be there? Sister Felicia. Just as soon as I leave this studio, I will head out there for my first flight up into the sky to hit those, I guess it's a steering wheel, and I'm going to turn to the left and turn to the right, but I won't be landing. But I will not land. But I just want to say thank you for joining us on this morning, sister. Thank you for what you're doing to bring that representation into aviation. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I can't believe this, but yes, ma'am. That's definitely what it is, and it's a beautiful thing because, like I was saying before, it's like a lot of people from our communities are interested in this type of thing. And we have no idea how to get into it. And I just noticed that even when I was younger and trying to get into it, I didn't know how to get into aviation at all. And then fast forward into 2024, 2023, and realizing that this desire to enter into aviation is still present. And then the lack of resources is still a problem. That's just something, that's the reason why I created Minorities in Aviation, is because we're just as capable as everybody else. We just don't have access to the same resources. That's like my motto right there.
Yes.
And I've been doing so many events. I do flying events, just like you just described. This is going to be amazing. Like it's the way I describe it, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for people who come from communities like ours to be able to fly a real airplane. Something you would never think that you would be able to do. Mm-hmm. And this event that's coming that's today is for the adults, and I know it's going to be just amazing, and it's even more amazing when the kids get into it. I've held at least 4 or 5 flying events from the Metro East St. Louis area, where the kids get to go out to the airport and get to fly the airplanes, and it's beyond a blessing to see these kids get to experience something that I wanted to experience at that young of an age. But nobody was there to, kind of walk me through it and guide me through the steps. So, yeah, I'm excited. And I know you're going to love it. Like,
yes.
It's going to be crazy.
Let's just go back a little bit. How did you get into this? Because you're actually a technician, a maintenance, aviation maintenance. Tell me, because you said better than I do.
Yes, ma'am. So I originally wanted to be a pilot, but I literally had no idea how to do it. And I've always been fascinated with aircraft since I was young. I've always been fascinated with how they fly, just technology in general, how the microwaves work, how the cars work and stuff like that. And I got into aviation finally when I joined the Marine Corps. And I went to school for a year and a half, and I've been doing this for at least 20 years now. And I've worked on jets, I've worked on wind turbines, or windmills is what most people call them. Mm-hmm. I've worked on helicopters, airplanes, and so on and so forth. And I just got into it because I wanted to get into it because it was just so interesting to me. Mm-hmm. And it was, something else that's hard to notice is the barriers to entry. They don't, people don't come to our communities and talk about this kind of thing. So even if you are interested in aviation, you don't really have a path to get there. Mm-hmm. And that's how I got into it, was just being excited about it or being interested in it and trying to just find all my different outlets to get into it. So
joining the military, you were able to get your training starting in the military. You not only work on engines, the airplane engines, but you do electronics, and
yes, ma'am.
That's phenomenal in itself.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I'm actually one of the few Black women in the world that's licensed by the FAA to work on aircraft engines. Mm-hmm. It's a public known information. It's kind of like, criminal records or whatever, but it can be looked up. I'm on the FAA website as a licensed aircraft mechanic, which is an engine mechanic or airframe mechanic. But my specialty is electronics. I do avionics, anything that has anything to do with wires, communication systems, navigation systems, weapon systems, all of that. Anything that has to do with a wire, that's my specialty. And then after I got out of the Marines, because I went to the Marines right out of high school, after I got out of the Marines, I went back to school, to aviation school to get my license from the FAA to work on the airplane or airplane engines. So I'm licensed to do both aircraft engines and electronics.
Mm-hmm. You have questions?
Yes. I'd like to, first of all, let me just salute you. You are an amazing sister, and I just want to salute you. My question and then a comment. Do you go into the public schools to try to stimulate the young people to possibly go into that field?
So
I'm a former
question.
educator, and I remember bringing a pilot into my classroom
and
at
that's
one time.
how she and I met.
Oh, is that right?
Go ahead and share the story.
Absolutely, yes.
And then I have another
comment. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for asking, and thank you for talking to me. I absolutely do. And that's where my biggest representation comes from, if you will. I've in the past 6 months, I've gone to probably 7 different schools, but on the Illinois side, and I hit up 2 schools on the St. Louis side. But I absolutely go to high schools and go to middle schools. I have this whole amazing presentation. I talk about my career. I explain to them it don't matter where you come from. It don't matter what you didn't have. It don't matter what you don't know. As long as you have the desire to learn, I promise you, you can do the same thing that I'm doing. And if you have a school that, in mind that I can go to, then I'm definitely interested, because it's definitely something that I do. Is I go and I talk to the kids and I show them pictures and stuff like that. And I talk to them about just a bunch of different stuff, about 20 minutes, and just get them all excited and riled up. And then I usually set them up with a flying event. So after I explain to them my career, I set them up with a flying event and they can actually get to fly. And now I'm trying to create a program where they can actually work on airplanes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Because what you said is,
sir, I absolutely do.
In the last 20 years, you've only met 2 other Black women besides yourself that actually work on airplanes. And so your business that you're hoping to, that you will get started, will teach others.
Yes, absolutely. So,
another question, because I know there's a shortage of
maintainers.
That, as well as the ones that guide the planes into to land and what have you.
The taxi.
The controllers, air traffic controllers.
Absolutely.
And this could be a booming opportunity for many people in our community.
Absolutely.
And the last thing, in a comment, I just want to salute you also, because you come on historical. There was the sister Bessie Coleman, who was the first Black female airline pilot. Yeah. So
yes, sir.
Again, I
standing on the shoulders.
Standing on the shoulders.
I'm definitely, I never forget that.
But address the air controllers, the possibility, so our community can know about that as a employment opportunity into the future.
I'm not even over exaggerating what I'm about to say. Okay. First of all, the aviation industry as a whole is absolutely desperate for more bodies, is what the phrase is. But air traffic controllers, oh my goodness, air traffic controllers make at least 6 figures a year starting off. And they're desperately needed. And it would be, oh my gosh, like the opportunities are there. The need is there. And I'm just trying to fill that gap with minorities. You see what I'm saying? But becoming an air traffic controller, becoming a pilot, becoming an aircraft maintainer, all of those positions are absolutely wide open because the industry is hurting bad for bodies. My particular role in this situation is to fill that gap and fill that need with qualified minorities who don't have exposure to these type of industries or aviation, but are more than capable of performing at a high level. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
So air traffic controlling is definitely one of those where they're hurting for bodies out there. And yeah, I'm working on getting scholarships and sponsorships that support paying for air traffic controller school. And then there are a lot of programs out there that will pay you to go to school for air traffic controlling. And that we don't know about these type of things until somebody comes and tells us that.
Right.
So I'm trying to be that bridge between our community and all of this information and resources out there.
Yes. And I like what you shared with me too about even being I want to say aviation technician, maintenance. You said that you could, if you train 5 people, you could start a business and you could make $20,000,
Oh my gosh.
Share this information.
Okay. So clearly speaking, I am looking for individuals who are, and it's another thing I always say, if you can work on a car, you can work on a general aviation aircraft. It's the same type of engine. Okay. People in our community just don't know. Instead of working in a car, you could come work with me, and I can pay you starting off $25 an hour. You know what I'm saying? To work on these aircraft engines. I am trying to build a team. I have actual projects coming in right now. That the first project I'm going to do for free, document and get our YouTube page up. You know what I'm saying? This is going to shock the world. You have never seen a team of Black aircraft maintainers. You've never seen a team of minority aircraft maintainers. And then these projects, it's so much work to be done, especially in the Midwest area. It's crazy. There's so many airplanes out there. There's so much work that needs to be done that I have no doubt in my mind, because I have teaching experience. And I'm actually licensed by the FAA as a certified aircraft mechanic. And I've been doing electronics on aircraft for 20 years. I'm looking for a team of 5 people, 6 people who are interested in come learning while I build these airplanes, and I'll document the training because, again, I found out that you could, you don't have to go to a formal school to get licensed. You just have to have the experience. So I'm looking for people who are interested in electronics, who are interested in engine work, to come out to these airplanes and learn from me, so that I can create this maintenance company, because the need is there and it is great.
And what she shared is just 6 months. 6 months of training, and you would be eligible to earn that. She just have to sign it off, and you'll be eligible.
For the training too. Absolutely.
And what this sister has, she's had a couple of people to donate to her airplanes that need to be worked on. Right, so she has a couple of airplanes that need to be worked on. But here's the need, guys. Here's the call to action. This sister is in Illinois, and she needs a place to put the airplane. If you have any connections, I want you to take her contact information, because she has airplanes that have been donated. Again, but this is an upcoming company. She has exposed 300 to 350 youth to the aviation industry. 300 to 350 youth, and she's still going on. And as she pushed this business forward, she needs your help. But we have a question for you, or a comment over here in the studio.
I want to
Sister Coffee Wright.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Coffee
Hello.
Wright. I'm totally impressed with you, and this seemed like I'm in a dream right now. It seemed like Groundhog Day or something. and the reason why I say that is because I created a program for aviation for youth. And I would love to share it with you in case you're interested. I'm not a pilot, but my brother was a...
I'm not a pilot either, ma'am.
Okay, well, my brother worked on airplane engines. He was one of the best in the Air Force for years, for decades. Really? So I would love to introduce you to him.
Oh, my God.
In addition, my brother's an aviation engineer, too.
Really? But we had K.A., and he just ran into another brother that was in the military the same time that he was doing the same thing, and they eat lunch every Sunday, right?
Wow.
But
yes, ma'am,
and then in
please.
addition to that, my high school sweetheart is a pilot. He owns his own airplane, and so that's why I created the program. But I couldn't get the money. And when you said that you don't have to go through all these different, he wanted to be a pilot. And he was faced with, you didn't go to this school, you didn't take this when you were in high school, but he's an electrician. He took electronics in high school. And so anyway, he shortcutted it by, just like you take classes to learn how to drive, you can take classes to learn how to fly.
Yes.
And that's what he did. He financed his own classes. He learned how to fly. He got his pilot license as a, not the commercial, but your, what is the other one?
The private pilot license. They have the recreation pilot license. Yeah.
He got his private license right here in St. Louis.
Yes.
Then he went over to SIU and he studied aviation, and now he has a bachelor's and a master's degree in aviation. He's working, making good money doing that. And so he was trying to teach his nephews. He was trying to teach my nephews and I was like, we got to get some money going so we can finance this because we couldn't afford to pay for flight hours.
And the money is there now.
It's just ironic we're talking about.
I got the airplanes now. I just need the facility. I can teach. I'm trying to put my people in the game.
If you're looking for a partner, how can I be down?
All right.
I definitely need help. And there's another. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Just ironic talking about pilots. I'm proud to say that the father of my grandson is a commercial pilot.
Wow.
Right. And I have a cousin that's a pilot.
Wow.
So
yes.
Let's go flying.
Let's do it.
Hey,
let's do it.
Listen, we have to wrap up this part, but I just want to say thank you. And for those that are interested in this program, that website is EAA. Sis, can you give us that website, EAA?
Oh, I apologize. Yes, ma'am. So my website personally for Minorities in Aviation, because I do work with EA, Experimental Aircraft Association, and the different chapter of 32.
Okay.
My website is minorities-in-aviation.aero.
Say it one more time.
So it was minorities-in-aviation.aero. So minorities-in-aviation.aero, Alpha Echo Romeo Oscar.
Okay.
So
awesome.
that's where I post all the events and all the stuff that's happening and so on and so forth. But minorities-in-aviation.aero.
Awesome. And do you have a phone number? Because some of our listeners need phone numbers versus websites.
Yes, ma'am. I absolutely do. So my business phone line is 618 424. One second. I had to double check.
618 424
4386.
4386. All right. And do you have anything, just 1 minute to wrap up? And we thank you for joining us this morning, man. You brought some great information, and I can't wait to get in the sky. I might be a little nervous, but I'm going, y'all. I'm going.
It's going to be the most beautiful experience you've ever had in your life. I'm telling you. And all I got to say is my tagline is the reason why I started this is because I genuinely believe that we are just as capable. We don't have access to the same resources. And my tagline is, we can do it too.
You can do it too. Well, thank you for stopping by Minorities in Aviation. We salute you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I thank all of y'all.
Listen, we'll have you back again because I want you, I'll be out there with you this morning. Then we're going to come back and talk about my experience. And then I want to bring some of the youth on and let the youth talk about their experience.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. All right. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you so much. Thank y'all. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Guys, we're going to go. I just want to share with you this evening. There's later on this afternoon, there is an event that will be taking place that Brother Zaki Baruti is hosting. Brother Zaki, tell us about this event.
Okay, this afternoon, and we encourage everyone, we want to fill up the house. Our organization will be sponsoring our 35th annual celebration of the life and legacy of Brother Malcolm X, also known as El Haj Malik El Shabazz. It's going to be a town hall political forum featuring progressive women in leadership. It's going to be at 2 p.m. The location is the Beloved Community United Methodist Church, located at 3115 Park Avenue, where Reverend Koch is the pastor. And our panelists will be a panelist of strong women, including Cori Bush, who's the congresswoman, first female congresswoman out of the 1st Congressional District. Our own Carla May, who is a state senator, 4th District.
Yes.
Also Sharon Pace.
Tyus?
Pace.
Okay.
Okay, who is the mayor of Northwoods, as well as Shameen Clark Hubbard, who's the St. Louis City alderwoman from the 10th Ward, and a sister named Anastasia Sykes, who is a candidate for a lieutenant governor.
All right.
So you got to be there.
Woo, power.
There.
Wow. 5 powerful black women.
And then our own moderator will be the sisters that's sitting right next to me and former candidate for U.S. Senator Miss Carla Coffee Wright.
That's right. I said it.
So listen, guys, we're going to go on a break, but we're going to come back. But before I go, I would just want to say Saturday, today, Okay. Today, May 18th at 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
We need you to be in the place.
In the place.
And what's the name of that building again?
It's the Beloved Community United Methodist Church. It's a church, 3115 Park Avenue.
3115 Park Avenue. Be there or be there. Go ahead and download that iHeart app and take us with you if you have to go. You've been listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show. Keep it on.